George Soros, the big foundations and large corporations have spent over $1 billion in the last 8 years fomenting racial division in this country. They have been pushing it as hard as they can, trying to get a white backlash against it to bring in a race war in America, out of which we will see the right of free assembly basically abolished. And what happened in Charlottesville, Virginia yesterday is now bringing that about. This thing is synthetic. And anybody that buys into it, I don't care what color you are, is a chump and a moron. The white nationalists who hate people who aren't white are idiots, and I decry it. But I decry the media even more that covers for the other idiot, moron, conditioned racist of Antifa funded by George Soros and others.
We condemn in the strongest possible terms this egregious display of hatred, bigotry, and violence on many sides. On many sides. Above all else, we must remember this truth. No matter our color, creed, religion, or political party, we are all Americans first.
Americans are sick and tired of spin. They're tired of one-sided reporting. Here's the facts. I've protested the KKK and Aryan nations personally, going back over a decade ago, 15 times or so.
Yeah, the toothless white trash and their federal Gestapo controllers are not welcome here in Central Texas, where the real patriots reside.
But just because I don't like those racist moron organizations doesn't mean then I endorse the leftist Antifa, which is the most anti-white, anti-Western, anti-capitalist, frothing, violent, hateful groups I've ever seen. So the globalists are going to look for opportunities like this to have clashes between different groups that are angry at each other, to use that crisis to then say we've got to restrict free speech across the board so that things like this don't happen again. So that's why Americans are enraged and freaked out. They're not racist. They're not in the KKK. But then they've been tolerant and open, and we've completely converted America to not being white. And then we're told by the Democrats, oh, guess what? Whites are inherently evil.
I've actually been labeled a racist and a white supremacist. I've been told several times that I'm not allowed to speak because I'm white.
Saying that we need weekends at major colleges with no whites, and whites can't go to the park, and whites need to say they're guilty and evil. When individuals have done nothing wrong, 99% of whites don't even have any slave owners in their ancestry. Meanwhile, the black nationalists run off and worship Islam when it had the biggest slave trade of blacks ever. But I'm not going to go through a whole history lesson here. Donald Trump's being criticized for criticizing both sides, saying both sides came looking for trouble and hate is dumb. And we should love each other and come together and take care of our veterans and take care of our old people and make America great again. And talk about the love in the room. But CNN read headlines that he didn't decry racial attacks or he didn't do enough. And they don't even quote where he actually said in his statement that we should love each other. That's beyond saying be tolerant, but we should love each other.
We must love each other, respect each other, and cherish our history and our future together. So important. We have to respect each other. Ideally, we have to love each other.
This is what we continue to deal with, though, is the globalists want to balkanize the country, promoting racism, promoting racial division, promoting that whites are inherently evil, the opposite of what Martin Luther King said. Don't judge folks off what color they are, but off how they act and what they do. Well, let's listen to Martin Luther King when he says that, because you go out and you go to one of these events and you neutrally sit there and watch what people in black outfits with masks beating people up, pepper spraying them, hitting them in the head with bike locks, you name it, are doing. And it is simply incredible. They continue to attack over and over and over again. And when they assaulted a female and male reporter for InfoWars, the police laughed about it and said, now this is an unlawful assembly. You can't come through here. You got to go right through there with a bunch of fences and the police marching them right in to cause the confrontation so CNN could have the headline, white supremacist, white nationalist, cause violence, when You can call the white nationalists misled, idiot, racist, just like the Antifa people. But you cannot sit there and say that they initiated the violence when clearly you watch any of the films, it's Antifa doing it, not just there, but all over the country. But to be clear, so the controlled corporate fake news cannot misrepresent what I've said, I decry the racist elements that set up this event and that went there, walking right into a trap with the mayor, who's a known Democratic Party operative, 80+% voted for Hillary Clinton. The police marched them in, said you can demonstrate here, kettled them in, and then laughed. We have video of this, of our reporters being pepper sprayed in the face and the police laughing about it.
Is that going to do anything?
Yeah, he just got struck with pepper spray by some irrational liberal helping him. We're not all like this. No, you see, the guy that attacked him is not a liberal. He's a Marxist. There's a difference.
Again, Americans are sick of the deception. They're sick of the spin. They're tired of the lies. Most Americans watched Trump's speech and heard him say we need to love each other and come together and racism is horrible. But then they see CNN saying Trump didn't decry racism. People know they're being lied to. And the globalists and social engineers need to understand people see through what you're doing. You may get some idiot white students to go lead, mobs of minorities believing they're battling the evil KKK. And you may get scared whites, to actually become more racist and join the other side and to have these moronic clashes. But the general public, regardless of what color they are understanding that the globalists are exploiting human populations everywhere. And that the real threat is robotics replacing humans and the global police state and these wars and authoritarian systems like Islam. That's why the globalists are so desperate. That's why they're trying to lie about what's really happening here. But all of us need to understand this was orchestrated. The facts are in. The videos are posted unedited to Infowars.com. Hours of it. Our reporters were witnesses to it. The police were ordered to stand down. They told our reporters they were. They allowed the Antifa to attack peaceful reporters, not just the white nationalists and other groups that were there. But the bigger issue is this. They're now branding the alt-right, Hillary created that term, as anybody that opposes the establishment, and then taking one little rally that only part of it was actually white supremacist, and then implying that if you demonstrate or stand up for American sovereignty or against the Democrats or against Soros, you're a racist. This attempt to guilt Americans into giving up their sovereignty, giving up their liberty, giving up our free market, or we'll be called racist, will fail, just as has been failing over and over again. Because the Democratic Party, CNN, MSNBC, anyone that opposes them, they call racist. And they don't even show proof when they say it. And people are sick of this, and they're angry about it, and they're not going to be whipped into submission. Humanity is coming together, and that's the message we need to understand here, and that's the message that Donald Trump put out. The events in Charlottesville have been investigated, as the president called for, and we now know it was a false flag manipulated by the Democratic Party, the mayor, the police, their Antifa hordes, George Soros funding, and useful idiot white supremacists that wanted publicity and played into this time bomb.